Hi there, I'm not Maciej, and I think he's resting right now. He's all right. He's
16:30. asked if she could join another session. I said yes.
Oh, but we're taking notes and stuff.
But they take notes when volunteers, you know?
Oh, I don't rely on this.
Oh, okay. Ask Pasha. I'll ask him. Could you take notes? Because Carol wanted to go into another session and I said she could, and we need somebody to take notes for us, basically. I'll do that. Thank you. You want to present with your laptop?
I just want to get the notes
Okay, I asked Pasha to plan.
for all groups.
Yeah, probably not. But how do we present? Because the slides are not there.
Why not?
I don't know. I can download. Hold on.
Should I send them?
No, if they're on, are they in the session?
Yeah, you're the same. Like, if I stand like this and Wojciech is here, you're almost on the same level. So Iglika will be taking notes, helping us. No, Iglika will be taking one. Anna from Cyprus will be taking for two.
So we here because they're not in the
Who is not here?
the slides.
But they're up. We uploaded them in comments where they are supposed
Okay,
to.
let's search. How should I search? I don't see them.
Wait,
This is the last one.
it's not here.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll search
Maybe
for
just go
comments.
in our agenda. Can you go in our agenda and just go to the link?
Presentation day 2, right? And what do I search?
Governance.
Governance.
Yeah.
There we go. Okay. Okay. There you go. Here you go. Do you want me to start?
Yeah, please.
Or I can do it.
No, I think that the first slide is the intro.
No.
This is not my slide.
No.
No, I think this is yours.
Yes. So hi. Wait.
I'll take it. Use this one probably.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us. This will be hopefully an interesting session about Hub and its governance. And when we say Hub's governance, we are referring here to internal governance, or actually about one specific thing, and that is election of steering committee members. We want to give you some context, just to explain how we got here and what we have been doing till now. And the goal is to then divide ourselves in groups and to get your feedback and comments on two models that we want to present to you. They are not finalized, they are proposals. Okay, so the context of the whole story is that CEE cooperation started as informal regional collaboration, and where we are now, we have pilot project that is Hub. We have been running it for the 3rd year, and we have staff and we have budget, but we also have fiscal sponsor. We are not incorporated. Already during the 1st year, we tried to work on having some kind of internal governance, way of electing steering committee members, and at that time, steering committee started discussing potential models. And what we were talking about at that time was potential affiliate-based model, project-based model, or even language-based one. The road was long because we had consultations with communities, and none of these models were accepted, or there were always comments. So this is just to tell you how it's a very difficult process, because every model you want to try or choose has some pros and cons. based on this feedback that we got and no consensus, we moved to year 2 of our hub project. And then we started working further on internal governance, and we established some internal rules about communication especially, also some guidelines for staff. But we also continued working with steering committee on, well, as I say, on some kind of model which will be transparent and clear for everyone who want to join the hub structure, those who want to be steering committee members. Okay, the situation as it is now, before I move on to this, is that some of you might be wondering, how do we then select steering committee members at this point, or how did we select new steering committee members this year? How it works is we had a call for new. Okay, then I will explain.
No, it's not. It's not? Oh, sorry.
Okay, so how it worked this year is that we had a open call for everyone in the region who wants to be a new steering committee member. The deadline was somewhere in end of June or July, but definitely this year. 11 people applied, and then we organized selection committee composed of 1 steering committee member who is leaving. That is Wojciech. Then Clara, 1 steering committee member who wants to stay another year, and also C Hub advisor, that's Delphine. Those 3 people together with me, as I was coordinating the steering committee, that selection committee. There were interviews with candidates, and then selection was made, decision was made. This is not the model how we want to proceed, so we are in search of better, transparent, inclusive model, and this is the story. This presentation is the story about this, and this is where we need your input and feedback.
This is just, whoa. I think my battery is dying, but let me try to survive with that. This is a story that we want you to create together with us. And before we move on, I would like to start with some basic principles that we worked out for the CEE Hub and for the steering committee to work on, to be based on. First of all, our priority as the CEE Hub is to support the communities. We don't want to work out complicated governance mechanisms. We are here, we've been here since the beginning, to support our communities. Second of all, we are based in the CEE region, right? So whatever the hub does, whatever support we hand out to our communities, these are communities based in the Central and Eastern European region. Third, it's a volunteer-based system. We're not trying to cross the boundaries. We're not trying to professionalize. We, the hub, is based on volunteers, of course, with staff support. We encourage active participation. There is an old saying, you can bring the horse to the water, but you can't make it drink. Whoever wants to be an active part in the hub and in the steering committee, we will listen to you, we will welcome you with open arms. If you do not want to be part of the activities, we will not force you, of course. But we welcome everybody with initiative. We have a joint responsibility. The hub, the development of our region is our responsibility together, is our joint responsibility. We also acknowledge limits of volunteering. Staff, the 3 staff members right now are here to support us, as volunteers with our limitations. And one last principle, one last philosophical principle of the CEE Hub, we are open to all. If someone from outside the CEE region wants to do something with us that will benefit the region, we will again welcome them and we will cooperate with them. So out of these principles, we also have, could I have the next slide? Thank you. We also have worked out some criteria for the future steering committee governance. And again, that's a little philosophy, that's a little high level. So let's go. I told you my battery died. Sorry, I have to use this one. It's not my preferred way of speaking, but here goes. So we worked out some criteria for the future governance of the CE Hub. The system which we will work out with your help needs to be sustainable. We want to create a sustainable system, especially in terms of demands on volunteers, especially on with demands on the annual steering committee elections. This process cannot kill the initiative in us. This must be a, whoops. I need to, because I need to read this, yeah, sorry, yeah. We need a realistic system that actually will work. Not a lot of philosophy, we need a system that actually will work. The system needs to be transparent. We do not want we do not want to work out a system which will be accused of not being transparent enough, of not being true to our Wikimedian values. We also want the future steering committee governance to be equitable. So like, while recognize that there is no perfect system, who said that we do democracy in today's world because nobody thought of anything better? So we acknowledge that there is no perfect system, but we still want a system which reflects our values and our goals. And last, we want a responsible decision-making based on active participation. So I think that this encompasses all the values, philosophical values of the steering committee and of the hub, which came from the previous slide. And now I will hand it over to remind us about the timeline.
Thank you, Wojciech. So with all this in mind, we as well mind the time. And we were expecting to be really fast, but as Barbara explained, it's not an easy question, and the opinion, and we don't want to like overrule anything. And on the other hand, we don't want to destabilize the hub on the first place. That's quite important for us because I think we work well, and we don't want to stop this with some like premature resolutions. But still, we would like to proceed, and we would like to have the new system for next election. And ideally, to be able to fit everything and to like be on time, we would love to present the new system till the end of this year. And we are not on the green field. We don't want to change what works, which is for us this 10 people in the steering committee. We find it useful. There's a lot of work we are doing or supporting. So this is the maximum size of the steering committee and something that we would want to keep. We already have one important internal document that we need to build on, which is our internal communication and governance. This is the document that that has been published on Meta, and we already operate with this steering committee this year under this document. And the chairperson is select from the steering committee. So by us, we usually, because we really pretty open, like works as a group of people together. So we are a team. We are trying always to time like the team players to fit certain roles that needs to be filled in. That's the base. This is how we found as well like new steering committee members. And they serve until the next election, until something unpredictable happens. And we work through and with our thematic working groups and the roles and responsibilities of the certain steering committee members. So this is the way how we can expand, how we can as well include more people who want to participate on anything that is hub is doing. We have the wide group. If you want to be part of it, it's like very easy. You can just like say, I want to be part of it, and you are, and you then attend our open meetings, and that's pretty much it. So that's, let's not change what already works, and that's why as well we asked Wojciech to do the hard part and to present all the principles and values, because these are somehow essential. We are not building anything, we are building something that fits for Hub. So we prepared a new proposal, new model, that is this one. Steering committee still will be constitute out of this 10 people, and the change will be this. 4 people are selecting through voting by the Wikimedia CEE Hub community. This is the big question. We will proceed further. 4 members are elected by Wikimedia CEE affiliate as an affiliate position. We already defined who's like Wikimedia CEE affiliate. We took like, let's say, maybe the widest possible definition, so not to exclude anyone, that's important for us. And 2 people will be co-opted by the steering committee based on specific skills that will be needed after choosing these first 8 people. Yeah, is it somehow, are you on the same page with me? Is it somehow understandable? And the main question we want to discuss with you today, because we want to gather some feedback here, because this is what we want to solve until the end of this year, is who are Wikimedia CEE Hub community, who is the community of our pilot project? That's the question. This is how question stands. So I will be presenting the option 1, which there is. It can be in any way adjusted, fit better, whatever. This is the proposal that works practically very easily because we have all the contacts, we have everything. And this option says that we would have the followers, the voters would be the one who actually follows what Hub is doing in any way, meaning they need to be on the CEE Hub mailing list. There is approximately 28 members now. Or they need to needed to be present on the general mailing list, which is approximately 140 people now, más o menos. Then, or they has been delegates on the CEE meeting in the last 5 years, meaning they ever heard about Hub at all, ever. And this is around 150 people by now, and or they are a member of the CEE Youth mailing list, which is by now approximately 77 people. In total, and there will be overlaps, it won't be unique people, but it's around 350 voters who had a chance in their life to hear about the Hub. That's it. These are people we have like listed, we have emails to them, we have their contact. We can then, of course, like how to make the vote, to make it like secure, thank you. It's of course the technical part, we won't solve it here, it's on us then. But this is the system and option number 1. And then there is just like the summarize that to be able to candidate for the steering committee meeting, and this is not for question, this has been already somehow like suggested, that you need to be the Wikimedia CEE community member and participate in at least 2 of the last 3 CEE Hub advisory group monthly meetings, status meetings before election nominates close. So it's very open, anyone can fit and have a chance to do that even when the candidacy has been announced. So everyone has a chance to fit into these 2. No one is excluded if he wants to. So this is the option 1, and that's it.
Okay, I'm here to present option 2, which is,
where did option 2 go after the question?
Was there something more?
Yeah, it was.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah. So sorry for the little technical problem. Option 2 is a lot more inclusive. Again, the limits put here are arbitrary and there will always be. They can be changed in any way, shape, or fashion we consider optimum to not discriminate against certain categories. But the proposal mainly goes like any person with a Wikimedia account that has a certain age and a certain number of edits in any Central and Eastern Europe project as defined by participation in this meeting is eligible to nominate him or herself for participation in the steering committee. And to vote, yes, thank you. Okay, so based on these two options, we're trying to find, if you want, the best way to tweak them, to adapt them to our needs. And we had some question for you that we would like to answer for each model. And these questions are, what is good about the respective model that we're discussing? What are the problems? And how to mitigate those problems? And also anything else that you can think of, anything else that you would like to tell us, anything that you find peculiar or not okay with any of these proposals. We'll split into groups, right?
Yes.
Barbara,
We will split into groups. Those of us who you saw on the stage, we will be leading one, each of us will be leading one of these groups, and there will be another group which is led by Bashak and Iglika. So you can choose one of 5 of us. We will be doing basically the same thing, just writing down your comments. So you choose any group. It doesn't matter which one you choose.
So we have five groups.
5 groups.
Me, Barbara, Strenu, Wojciech, and Kasia. So please come to join us for discussion. We are curious what you think, and it will be basically you.
yes. Barbara, how long? How long?
Yes, half an hour.
So we'll have half an hour for these discussions, okay? Half an hour.
create a Wikipedia to subscribe to the mailing list, which is easy.
Like the risk that someone manipulates them.
But like, it's not even manipulating risk. It's like people have different interests, and some people subscribe to all mailing lists. I, for example, don't subscribe to Wikimedia L because I don't like spam.
So hold on, this is the right or not the obligation. Like if you're not
No, but this
like what's the risk that you see?
this allows to like skew voting lists. On one hand, on the other hand, we do not ensure that all voices are actually heard. For example, are we sure there is anyone from Croatia on the mailing list, or will ever be?
So country balance.
Country slash community slash any balance.
Like what's the again for speech
Like, some countries have 50 people, some have 1. It's just because people have different parts, so I don't think it's a good representation of what CEE is.
For example, some countries heavily rely on Telegram, some countries
Yeah.
what I mean is they can. Yes. My comment is actually I want to be solution oriented, so I think a mix of these two what we get for board elections because they are you had conditions there how many you have in the budget like how many Wikimedia projects and so on. So it was like 300 has and then like if you have not enough contribution in Wikimedia movement in a different way that you cannot reflect contact secretary and you will do an exception.
So it would basically be option one.
It's option 2 most.
No, it's option one. I would say mostly plus exceptions for people requesting to vote, right? Like explicit sign up.
Yeah, so for example, we had someone who was running events, and then they were like, okay, like I run events, I do anything, like restrictions on events. Specifically, people are actually joining the making of
What it made me think of something like steward elections, where people vote and then there is an eligibility check which would be most like option 2.
So is it option one plus sign up or option two?
But narrow definition is like
The narrow definition is option one, right?
so for me is the one that I don't think managed. I think
So option two plus explicit sign up.
I think so. Basically, for us was editing in Wikipedia, which is not really like reflective, but
I would.
no, any
Wikipedia plus other
Wikimedia projects. But also there are people who are like technical who don't edit, and you could ask for an exception. I mean, you said like, oh, I made patches. Here's the way I have contributed.
Yes.
Add me to this.
I think the question is also, is it like open ballot or closed ballot? Like, is it common for
You're thinking of using the what's already figured. Yes.
I think because like when I
Like
like
if you go with option one, it will be very complicated. That's my point at least. My main grift with option one is that there will be a lot of effort to
curate.
curate the list. Yes, exactly, and to associate with the
Then we can write it
usernames
down.
because the idea that I heard was just like send an email with your word. That's not ideal.
And what I saw one more risk of I can sign from the list now. I don't care much more about it in future, and I will still be on the list because nobody will. They say they are still be on the list even if I don't care about it at all. And when I stop editing, Wikipedia will see it and it will go right after having for example 100.
I like
doesn't qualify because it still does present some of those commons from journals.
Oh, so this commons user will be not easy to catch if you will wish to use, because I cannot know how we will know that people having photos from our region are will be not that easy.
Yes, that's why it was more in favor of like this pure elections process where people vote and then we verify the votes and accept or reject them.
Yeah, but
Accept or
we
reject
cannot
them.
do that with this kind of size.
Depends how many people vote. In pure election there are like 300 people. Yeah, but like 90% will be obvious and 10% will probably be not obvious and either we know them. I know, but like we can have like 5 volunteers to share some online, that will be easier.
That would mean having another committee.
No, but like I'm pretty sure that elections committees will avoid here. Because
Yes,
here,
but
the role of election committee will be verified like that there are no subtopics and that everybody meets the criteria or meets each
no,
section.
the criteria can be automatic. The sub-puppets,
Sure, but like this already makes it more automatic.
Another question, if banned users will be included to the list or not? Not permanent ban, but for example, you are banned for 1 month for your bad behavior on Wikipedia. So can you still be here as a volunteer or not? Or if you ban
your face again on Polish Wikipedia, man.
because look, if you have something like that, it's also easy to manipulate that. Okay, you want to be in the steering community, let's have a blog for you, and then you cannot start. Or you know, let's say
Bands are very difficult to manipulate.
you don't know Polish Wikipedia. Because I remember there are some exceptions like that. Yeah, so this is when we can copy that from your lectures, not critical. There is something more, not only the blogs, but something.
We have several.
You should check when we will be next month the Board of Justice elections. They have something on the page of Meta, and I think that these things are also there.
So like more than 1 and 2 in CMB. So these are the advantages that we identify so far, the disadvantages, and the middle that would like some other ingredients to explore that might either make it more difficult or help in adoption, less explicit. So something like yes. I'm sure it is critical because just part of the meaning is can skew the vote by setting it up. It doesn't have any balance on country community. This at least has the advantage of the community size. Basically, you know.
It's easy to say if somebody is active or not, because you can say this or not. And here you can be participant of this, it doesn't mean anything. If you are still active or still think about
Active as an individual or active as an organization?
now we think about the people.
Yeah, this is like basis for the other part.
Hello? Sorry. Just a reminder that we have like 2 more minutes to wrap up because then we would like to present what each group discussed, if possible.
Okay, let's
So to conclude, which one we prefer
Okay. Clara? Yes. You can work here. We are finishing.
Everything which is good
Has to end. Yes. Everything good has to come to end, so it's time to wrap up. And decide who will be representative. One person, maybe, who will tell us what you concluded, if there were conclusions. There were. Okay. Okay, please. Who wants to start?
Get the roaming microphone if you wish. Or
Yeah, the roaming would be good. Where's the roaming one?
there is a roaming microphone somewhere here.
Roaming mic, paging roaming mic. You'll be the holder. Okay. Okay, so let's talk about option 1 first. The option where you are part of a mailing list was kind of interesting, but one of the things we talked about here is how you can easily become a member of a mailing list. It doesn't require any kind of commitment, really. And once you become a member, you're there, and you don't even have to be active, you're just there for years and years. It also doesn't guarantee that you actually read the emails that come to you, right? You can definitely be also somewhere different than a CE region person. You just are interested in hubs. Maybe you even want to build a hub in Latin America or something, and you want to follow what we're doing. I don't know if that means you should be able to participate in the election. One other thing we're talking about is how it might not be equitable, because not many people are part of mailing lists, or maybe too many people from a certain region are part of a mailing list because that's how they are used to doing things. Yes, yeah, I think I already said that subscriber auth. Yes, people sign up but are not even active. They even forget they're on there. It goes to spam, right? The other problem with this is that it's not really transparent. Like we don't, like the general public might not necessarily know who the members are. Whereas if you look at option 2, it might be a bit more transparent with the edits, right? That's what, well, maybe we can bridge it and go to that. When you talk about how, like, we need to have X edits on Wikimedia or CE projects on Wikimedia projects in the CE region, right? You have to have X edits there. It's quite easy to verify and everybody can see it. If there's a dispute, it's easily visible, right? Or definitely, like, more or less. But then there are also other issues. For example, commons is not exactly included in this thought, and Wikidata, right? So with commons and Wikidata, it will be quite hard to say that, you know, you've edited enough about Central Eastern Europe when you haven't. But possibly, the other thing that we talked about is how there might be issues around banning users, right? Are banned users eligible or are they not? Maybe somebody will ban a user just because they don't want them to be part of the steering committee. That is another possibility. Also the clones, that's another thing. Sometimes people have 2 accounts, sometimes we know about these sock puppets, sometimes we don't. Maybe there are actually good reasons for having these. I mean, we didn't really talk about it, but I just had that thought that in some areas it is not exactly safe to edit Wikipedia, right? So people might have these kind of accounts. I don't know. Oh yeah, the other question that we had was about the staff members. They were not included in either option 1 or option 2. Staff members, I mean, of affiliates, but also possibly of the CE Hub itself. We're also possibly excluding those people that are not active or not very active on projects, but they do other things that help to advance the movement, like organize editathons, but not really actually edit in them. Or they are glam, or they are legal, or all kinds of different things. Is there anything else that we should talk about?
This part.
Oh yes, this from.
I can do it if you want.
Okay, please.
Okay, so talk about what you wanted to say.
So basically for the last question, the additional suggestions, we've got a bunch of good suggestions here. So Amir told us about how the Iranian group improved option 2. You can either vote because you have the criteria from option 2, or you can simply sign up and the election committee, which in all variants seemed kind of unavoidable, will approve or reject your request. Another proposal from Selena has been the Python Foundation elections, which we haven't checked yet, but we will, thank you. Regarding the banned users, a proposal that we received was to follow the foundation rules for the Board of Trustees elections.
And maybe the issue we talked about when the knowledgeable vote, right? I mean, how do we make sure that people who are voting are actually interested? So I guess with the calls it makes sense. We didn't quite talk about that, but with the mailing list, how do you know that people actually know what's going on in the emails? But also with the edits, right? Just because you edit even from Brazil about Polish, I don't know, footballers, it doesn't really mean you are involved in the CEE hub or you know what's going on or you are even interested. I think that's it from us. Thank you.
So yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. So good about the A model, we found that member has the knowledge and take care actually about what's going on in the hub, and they don't want to sell the ship. And the problem, there might be people outside CEE who are part of the mailing lists, or like, let's say, like the lists. We discussed how to mitigate this threat, this problem, and we found like several possible regulations with just like that people need to prove the connection to the CEE when they subscribe to the voting list, let's say, or mailing list. That's possible. It's not that easy to do. That means to adjust mailing list to be relevant, which as well was something that we discussed before. To make the mailing list relevant, it's not that hard. Suggestion, like anyway, it's to let's create some like fair CEE model, but when we tried to do it, it was very hard. Very hard, not possible in this limited amount of time, and we've been trying to do it for some time now. So about B, the problem with model B was that editing community has no clue about the CEE hub at all and don't care. It's very easy to like persuade few people to vote for the candidate that as well has no real connection with the hub, just to be voted and just to be elected. Capacity of preparation is the big disadvantage because it's like thousands of people, it's 37 communities, and we might end in the situation that staff is not doing anything else than preparing elections every year for a steering committee, which is definitely something we don't want to. It's too much people as well in this electorate. And we may be mitigating the small communities, because if we are just going for the size of the editors, like the number of the editors, it's very unfair. So these were the most everything we have time to.
Someone? Anyone? Okay. My group went very task-based to these two definitions. We called them the narrow definition and the loose definition for the electorate. So the participants of my group consider even that even according to the narrow definition, the 300 or so people that can vote is a high enough number. But we still wanted to reflect the community in the voting system. So an idea came to us that the community votes can account for one vote in the whole system, or maybe can account for 1% or 10% of the voting power added to option 1. We even went as far as to say that out of the 4 people that would be elected by the communities, the first person would be elected in a community-wide vote of those 4,000 something accounts that can be said to be CEE editors, and the other 3 would be selected according to the narrow definition. And if you are a voter in the narrow definition, you don't vote there. Yeah. I mean, the extreme version would be even to combine both those models. But of course, I had to write the word overheads because that will incur more work both of the volunteers and the staff, and that's sort of against the philosophy which I presented in one of the slides over there. Thank you.
I need the microphone. I mean, there's not much that makes too much sense. Hello, everyone. My name is Denis Smailovic. I'm here representing the Serbo-Croatian community. Thank you for putting together the different options. Our comments here are that for the first option with the list participation, I think we need to consider, or like we think we need to consider vulnerability for this kind of voting system. Like essentially considering a scenario where someone could get 50 friends to sign up, vote for them, or even worse, help them push towards an agenda that they are personally interested in, excluding someone else, or something like that. I think that the type of organization that the CEE Hub is something that could potentially be vulnerable to those kinds of things. Then we get into like, okay, what can you do instead? Option B is you need at least 300 edits within the last 6 months. And so a really big plus there, as we discussed, is that it's a very specific thing. And so the thing that we came up with is some kind of combination between option 1 and option 2, or a specific set of criteria where you can say, okay, are they met or are they not met? And then you can kind of work from there. So it could be, do you have the 300 edits? If you don't have the 300 edits, have you attended a CE meeting in the past or something like that? That would give a bit more variance for people to also have voting rights despite not contributing in an editing capacity. Now, I think the last thing that we discussed is that the voting could potentially be by delegates to the CEE meeting. And so I think that was an interesting proposal, but we figured out that there's also some problems there. Like you have communities that would have to vote for the delegates, and then it would become way more sensitive who actually gets to go. And you have a situation where you risk that essentially becoming a problem. And so I think in the end, we figured out that having the delegates vote at the meeting itself might be counterproductive to what we're actually trying to achieve. But that membership in local communities or local activity could be one of the qualifiers that would allow you to gain voting rights. If anyone from the group thinks I missed something, please let me know. Okay, thank you.
Hi, I'm Michał, and I'll be wrapping up the Bashak's notes and what we discussed as a group. So we started with the option A and option B, and we were not that maybe diligent with observing the exact narrow definition. We were rather thinking about the legitimacy, so about the difference between the legitimacy and the practicality of this wider all editing group and some kind of a narrow group. And we turned out that a narrow group could be better in terms of legitimacy, as this would be the people more connected with the CE group. We didn't precisely define what it precisely might mean in the future. Is it more about the contributing? Is it more about receiving? Is it being in touch? but it would be probably better than just the wider audience. However, still there remains the question about the general theory. So who's really being represented, like the people who contribute or the people who are receiving the support from the CEE? The other ones is probably the whole region. Because of that, we were also thinking about something like option Z. So representatives, they don't need to be sent here, but you can have something like a US presidential electoral system that basically particular communities are voting for their representatives, and the representatives then vote for the CEE leadership. Why could it be better? Because in both situations, especially in option B, it's very difficult to ask people to do the knowledgeable, educated vote. You're asking people to spend many, many hours of their life to really read and educate themselves about candidates from Azerbaijan to Estonia, and to know who is who and if they are better or worse. So it's a very difficult task, and it's hard to ask thousands of people to really do this, let's say, educated, informed choice. So limiting the number of these people to, let's say, several dozens, that they would be trusted by the communities. And these communities will be saying that, okay, this person will read for me and they will do the best decision for my community. Maybe it would be better, maybe not. I don't know, but it could save us a lot of times. What else? There was the the problem of electioneering, as you said, sock puppeting. So maybe the narrow definition gave more promise for us that we would be recognizing the particular physical persons. So we would know that, I don't know if these are the email recipients or the people who are coming to the CEE meeting, whoever, but we could make sure that these are actual physical persons. With editors, you cannot do it. This can be a lot of sock puppets, right? You can make hundreds and dozens of them. So maybe that would be good.
Interesting CEE topics.
Oh yes, and as the criteria, ultimate criteria, maybe this interest and showing the interest in CEE topics. We were discussing many ways how you could do it, that maybe you should just subscribe it, just say that I'm interested. Maybe you should show some gesture. It's still to iron out, but probably the interest in the CEE is the defining thing, not just being the recipient, maybe not very much being the big contributor, but the interest is some middle ground that we could do, and it could help solving all these problems, like what if I'm a Polish person editing German Wikipedia, and if I'm in Serbia editing Wikimedia Commons, and what to do with these people. We're good?
It's very good. Very good.
Yes. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for all the groups. And just for, oh yes.
Okay, so I will be brief. We discussed that option A is probably useful because it solves the problem of potential puppets who might be eligible to vote. For example, if you have multiple accounts that meet the threshold of option B, then it would be possible to vote with all those accounts. But the problem is that we also encountered a situation in which option B is very loosely defined and not clear enough. For example, is the threshold set only for contributions to CEE languages without taking into account projects like Wikidata or Wikimedia Commons? And at the end, we have come up to a conclusion that it might be better to work on a hybrid solution which combines elements from both option A and option B. That would solve the problem that option A favors offline contributors and option B favors online contributors, so that if a person has some activity on any of the projects in the languages of the CE region, and also including the other projects like Wikidata, Wikimedia Commons, and potentially non-Wikimedia project like OpenStreetMap, and also is subscribed to the CE Hub mailing list and follows what's going on with the hub, then it might be possible to include that as well as criterion in defining a third option which would cover both.
Okay, just something about the timeline and the process. Thank you for all the feedback. It was valuable. How we plan to proceed is we will take this we will take this feedback into account. There is a CE Hub working group on governance that will, during the following few months, work on redefining proposed new model. And last but not least.
Yeah, this was valuable because this is really not an easy question, and for us, I think for every one of us who work on it, and hopefully even for like you, it's good to feel like the temperature in the room, and as well like maybe the main trends, like what to avoid, what we are most fear of, what are the worst option possible. So to mitigate this, it was really useful because we had a lot of notes, and the thing we want to stress as well is that we will come with a model, we will try. If it not works, we will change it. It's adjustable. It's not nothing forever now on. We are not defining any, let's say, representation of the CE region in total. Hub is not defining like anything how the region, Wikimedia, communities in total will looks like. We are really just trying now to solve what to do about how to choose the steering committee. That's pretty much it. So that's I just want as well you to be aware of that, and maybe please explain this to anyone who might feel that doesn't understand, because this is really not, I don't know if anyone of you enjoying it, I'm not. But we need to come with some conclusion. But thank you so much that you devoted the time to us, because we really did need it. Thank you.
Well, that's it. But only just one more sentence. Those who were CE Hub leaders of the groups, send me some digital, please, thing. That's not for you. It's for me.
I have a very important announcement for you. So,